What is up? What is happening? Welcome to another episode of Respect the Court. And yeah, it's summertime. There's not a whole lot to talk about in terms of the NBA outside of rumors and all whatnot, but I'm not worried about that. And to those who are fans of it and excited for it, there is the WNBA, which is going on right now. And I think the ladies are doing pretty well, at least in terms of New York and Minnesota. They're doing fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about, are we? No. Today, I'm doing another player highlight, and I would like to highlight the man, Mr. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. This is special for me because I was a big fan of his. I'm still a big fan of his when it comes to basketball, and of course his humanitarian efforts. But focusing on basketball, you tend to forget how good and how special some of these guys were in the 90s and in the 2000s, and of course, in the 80s and 70s and 60s and so forth. But considering his time in the league, what he was able to accomplish with the team that he had, it's incredible. I truly believe that for Hakeem Olajuwon, anyone who is serious about basketball in terms of the NBA, if they do not have Hakeem Olajuwon in their top 5, maybe top 7 in terms of centers, y'all missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out incredibly, because what he was able to do in terms of his skill set, in terms of his finesse, in terms of reinventing what a center could do was incredible. But let's do just a little quick background on the man. He went to the University of Houston, was a standout from the very beginning. I'm not going to dive too much into his college career, but it was a sensational college career. But here's a man, 7 feet tall. And usually when you're about that tall and that wiry, you're not known to have a lot of athletic prowess, a lot of footwork and speed and skill. When you're about 7 feet tall, you're kind of just tall, lanky, and at times lumbering. But what made him so special was for the fact that he was incredibly quick, incredibly athletic, and as I mentioned, the footwork. Here's a guy 7 feet tall with immaculate footwork. Footwork almost like a guard. Being able to use his pivot, reverse pivot, his pump fakes, being able to stop on a dime, pump fake again, twist the other way, rotate, pivot, and knew how to use his feet, knew how to use his body. Of course, he also grew up playing soccer, so I'm pretty sure that is a big part of the footwork. If you've seen soccer players move, they're incredible. Especially those that are attackers on the field. They're just coming at you with different movements, different ways to try to get you off balance. But because of that footwork, he was able to do many things that centers before him weren't able to do. But let me go ahead and list out some of this man's accomplishments in the NBA. So, for the regular season, Hakeem Olajuwon is 14th all-time in rebounds and points. He's 10th all-time in steals. He's first all-time in blocks. He leads the all-time category for blocks. And let me tell you how far ahead he is in terms of active players right now. He has 3,830 blocks for his career, Hakeem Olajuwon. The next closest active player is Brook Lopez, and he's number 18. That is the next closest person that is still playing basketball right now in the NBA, Brook Lopez, at 18th. That's crazy. Now, of course, I get it. The game has changed. I'm no fool. I understand. More three-pointers are shot. More jump shots are being taken. fewer shots are going to the rim, mid-range. I get that. But just understanding that for 18 years, he accumulated that many blocks, it is absolutely incredible. As a matter of fact, I'll give you the top 10 when it comes to all-time in blocks. So you have, of course, Hakeem Olajuwon. Number 2 is Dikembe Mutombo. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 4, Mark Eaton. Number 5, Tim Duncan. And right behind him at number 6, David Robinson. Number 7, Patrick Ewing. Number 8, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 9, Tree Rollins. And number 10, Robert Parrish. So those are your top 10 in terms of blocks of all time. It's incredible. Other awards this man won: 9-time All-Defensive Team, 12-time All-NBA. He was a part of the All-Rookie Team. Of course, he's in the Hall of Fame. 12-time NBA All-Star, and of course, a 2-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time NBA Finals Most Valuable Player, and a Most Valuable Player during the regular season, 6-time NBA Player of the Month, 12-time NBA Player of the Week, and 3-time NBA Rookie of the Month, and an Olympic gold medal. But here's the one thing about his career that I really do love, and not a lot of people talk about it. Yes, he won 2 championships back-to-back, but he only played in his entire career with 2 top 75 players. Actually, no, it was 3. Yeah, Clyde Drexler, Scottie Pippen, and Charles Barkley. Now, in terms of the 2 championships, he won that just with Clyde Drexler. So he's only had one other top 75 person in terms of those 2 championship team seasons. And then after that, the guys that he played with, they were at that point somewhat past their prime. So that's another thing to take into consideration, just in terms of the championships that Hakeem Olajuwon won. He only had one other top 75 guy. That's it. And another thing, I mentioned the championships. He had back-to-back championships. Crazy thing about the championships, the second championship that they won, they were the 6th seed in the West. That's near impossible to be a 6th seed in the West. Even back then, to be a 6th seed in the West, trying to win a back-to-back championship, going for your second championship, and you came in 6th place going into the playoffs. That's wild. You don't have home court advantage at all throughout the entire playoff run and still manage to win. That is an incredible feat. That is awesome. But it's not talked about enough. Anyhow, so when Mr. Olajuwon came on to the Rockets the year prior, Houston was 29-53. So Hakeem's rookie year, the team went to 48-34, 19-game improvement, and playoff bound. I mean, that's the whole point, right? If you're going to be a top 5, top 10 pick, you need to turn that team around within about a year or 2, right? That's usually the case. And what's wild about his second year in the league, they beat a 62-20 LA Laker team. And this was during the 85-86 season. And you're thinking to yourself, wait, what? They beat the Lakers? They beat the Lakers, who were en route to go to the championship, who were just there the year before. And here's this upstart Houston Rocket team that just comes through. And now I think I remember this. I think LA won the first game, and then Houston won the other 4. I'll have to check that to be absolutely sure. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I believe that is the case. No, you know what? No. Let me check that out, because otherwise it's just going to bother me. I have to be sure. But anyway, I'll get back to that. And then, of Of course, they go to the NBA Finals and lose to the Boston Celtics in the finals in 1986, which is crazy. Nope, yeah, I was right. They beat them in 5 games. Yep, they lost the first game, and they lost. I'm sorry. LA won the first game, and then Houston won the rest. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. With Olajuwon scoring 40, 35, and 30 points in the final 3 games of that series. They had no answer for that guy. No answer. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And here's another stat for you all. Because, there are some folks out there that love their stats. And, I got you. I get you. Hakeem Olajuwon is one of 4 players that have ever played in the NBA. So we're talking nearly 5,000 people who have played in the NBA since the 1950s up until now. And I got this from StatHead. So, the numbers may not be 100% accurate, but I figured they're close enough. But anyway, he's one of 4 players in NBA history to have a quadruple double. And for those who don't know, quadruple double basically means you got a double in 4 statistical categories, whether it be points, rebounds, assists, blocks, whatever the case be. Hakeem on March 29th, 1990 recorded 18 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, 11 blocks. Here's the wild thing about this. He almost had that opportunity to do it twice. Twice. He did it, well, I'll say this. In a game that was happening 24 days earlier, or 26 days earlier, he was shy by 1 assist. I don't remember the number of points, rebounds, and assists that he had, or blocks, but he was 1 assist shy from getting a quadruple double 26 days earlier. The man was just a machine. Phenomenal. Who else could you think of that could do a quadruple double within a month? Almost a quadruple double twice in 1 month. That's crazy. That's crazy. And in terms of the 4 people who've done it before, he is in good company. I believe the only other 3 people that did that before were David Robinson and Alvin Robertson, and Nate Thurman. That's it. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm still going back to the fact that this man still won. Of course, we're talking about a whole team effort, not just Hakeem himself, but this is a team without home court advantage the entire season and still won a championship. Matter of fact, that was the thing about their first run to the championship. I believe they were a 4th seed, and they too did not have home court advantage for most of, if not all, the entire playoffs that year for their first championship run. And they went ahead and beat the San Antonio Spurs, who were a 62-20 team. I'm sorry, they did that in the Western Conference Finals. Not the NBA Finals, Western Conference Finals, obviously. And Hakeem beat a Shaq and Penny team that were considered the favorites to win it. I mean, you got Shaq, who is pretty much unguardable. You had Anthony Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, and he was a bad boy. Bad boy. And the Rockets swept them. Whoosh, get the brooms out. Like, Hakeem was just a phenomenal player. He doesn't get enough recognition for what he was able to do with that Houston Rockets team, but the Houston Rockets definitely know who they had and definitely honor that man to this day. It's crazy to think of all the things that he was able to do in such a illustrious career. And not even just that, he gives back to the game by helping younger players work on their footwork, work on their post game, work on their skills offensively, defensively to become better players. I mean, I'm telling you, Hakeem Olajuwon, he's up there. You know? I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. So I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.